Welcome back. This is the second part of This But That's podcast interview with Harry's Haunted House. If you'd like to listen to the first part before this one, it's available in the description below. Enjoy.
I need to ask you something really quick. Why have you rated The Lighthouse a 2.5 stars?
I'm going to get so much hate for this.
Don't spoil it because I haven't actually seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. I watched it the other day, and personally I didn't really enjoy it. And I really wanted to. But for me, it just wasn't my cup of tea. I wasn't enjoying it. I was just a bit bored throughout the whole thing. It meanders a lot. But I know that's incredibly unpopular, and I'm very happy there are people out there that like it. And on a technical level, it's a very well-made movie, so that's why I gave it a 5, because giving it a below-average rating genuinely feels wrong.
Okay. All right. Well, I think you're the first person that I've heard that doesn't like it. Well, I say doesn't like it. You thought it was okay.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I thought it was just okay. It just wasn't my cup of tea. There are other movies out there that are popular that I dislike more than The Lighthouse. For me, The Lighthouse definitely earns its Oscar for Best Cinematography because it did get nominated for an Oscar. For me, that's definitely, something that's worthwhile. But then again, The Lighthouse kind of deserves more than 2.5 stars because it's just better than 2.5 stars. But for me, I enjoyed it at about that level.
Okay.
So I'm sorry,
I'm really
guys,
looking forward to seeing it anyway. It's not even out here yet, so I just saw that and I thought, I'll have to pick your brain about that one. I thought also might be an interesting thing to do because you've got a watch list at the moment as well, haven't you? I can tell you some of them if they're worthy of your time or not.
There's only 20 on there.
Oh, that's okay. That's good. It's better than having 900 like me, or 800. Sorry, but I can't import them for some reason. Probably because the list is too big. Don't watch Green Book. It's overrated. Baby Driver, yes. Casablanca, yes. Gentleman, I want to go and see as well. Haven't seen it yet. Not too keen on The Flash myself. If you want to watch Uncut Gems, you should add a movie called Good Time. It's on Netflix, I think. It's the same duo of directors, and it's just it's like a roller coaster. Like the movie just doesn't stop. Like it's a really great movie, and I only watched it the other day as well.
Just to say, the reason why The Flash is there, it's just out of obligation that I'm seeing the DC films at this point. I'm a massive DC fan, more so of the television side of it, but the films have disappointed me so much over the years that whenever I go into them, I always feel like I'm just going to end up disappointed. But I did like Wonder Woman, and there's the new Wonder Woman this year, so I don't know. It might be alright.
Okay.
Anyway.
Add Good Time to your list as well. That'll be something.
2017?
Yes. It's got Robert Pattinson in it as well, and he's pretty good. I haven't seen 9 Lives. Why do you want? Do you just want to watch Step Brothers because of fucking Holmes and Watson?
Man, I gotta watch it.
Don't watch Step Brothers. There's only one good joke about ball sacks and drum kits, and that is it. I haven't seen this Patterson movie, and I haven't seen Come and See either. But Donnie Darko is an absolute must. I haven't seen Little Women. My fiance was going to go and see it, but it was all sold out when she showed up, so she couldn't see that. She went and saw Uncut Gems instead, and she really liked that. So yes, definitely keep Uncut Gems. But she said that Good Time is even better, so take what you will from that. Oh, and The Big Lebowski is an obvious must as well.
I'm just going to jump back to Harry's Haunted film profile.
Harry's Haunted ratings.
Harry's Haunting ratings. That's a great name. We're going to look at half stars. Alright, let me see. Last Airbender, Wonder Park.
Oh my god, here we go.
What's that film?
Wonder Park? Is this... So, again, this was just me kind of abusing my free cinema tickets thing. Like, my family consists of... my immediate family, I've got 2 younger sisters. And I thought this would be the perfect movie for them to go and watch, and it was so bad. It was
Did they think it was
everything.
bad?
Everything. No, no, no. They loved it. Well, that's just because they're
Okay,
kids.
yeah.
Like, that's their. Well, it's bright colors, roller coasters, animals. It's ticks all the right boxes. But my God, I have never seen a movie that literally just summarizes everything that's wrong with kids' movies these days. Literally, the main protagonist is like, what was it? I think in the first 15 minutes, they kind of said that her mum had died of cancer. And I was like, Jesus Christ, we're really going like full head in. But everything else in the movie just doesn't match this whatsoever. It's like, oh, it's okay. Everything's going to be fine. You might have a few kind of bits of PTSD in your life because you don't have a mum around. But like, it was just, yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea, but it was fine because me and my mum were drinking. We had a fucking bottle of wine to share between us for the movie, and the kids had sweets, so that was fine. What was this other movie you said? Was it In My Half Stars?
Which one?
Okay,
Over
maybe
here,
not.
I'm just thinking like
I thought I could see
random
it.
magic trip journey to.
Oh
Africa.
yeah, Magic Journey to Africa is this Netflix thing, I think. Well, actually, I say a Netflix thing. That was where I watched it, and I think I was at uni, and we just
Dude, you're like
had it on. It
you're
was
like
just
one
garbage.
of 10 people that have rated this film.
Oh, there we go. Exactly.
There's like 13 ratings.
It's. I don't know how to do. I can't even remember what it's about. Like I just remember watching it when I was at uni, and it's got like, I have no idea why I watched it. I can't remember. I can't even remember what it was about. Just some animals and some kids.
Oh yeah, Twilight.
Is that a
I've
half
actually-
star?
That's 1 star.
Oh, okay.
You got like a Twilight sequel as a half star.
Oh yeah, because the
Twilight,
sequel is that bad.
I got halfway through.
Wait, hang on a minute. Where's Zero Dark 30? That should be here. It is here. Okay, that's fine.
Is that like a high scoring film or a low
No,
scoring film?
Zero Dark 30 is my least favorite movie of all time.
Whoa, I was about to ask what the worst film out of it.
And that is a hot take because I think it's quite on average well received, but it's just. And when did it come out? 8 years ago. I can't remember it that much, but like as in like what happened in it, I just remember really, really hating it because it's made by the same director who did The Hurt Locker, and that was another war movie that I really didn't like. It just rubbed me up the wrong way, and then Zero Dark 30 just did it, but worse. And it's funnily enough, it's got fucking Jack Harkness in it, but it's John Barrowman, but briefly. But yeah, this movie is garbage, and I think I would love to kind of watch it again just because it's my most hated movie, but I don't know.
It has
Yeah.
3.6 out of 5.
Yeah, it's not bad like in terms of public perception of it, but it's because it's about something that we should be praising. That's the other part of it, is that there's a lot of angles to it's about the assassination of Osama bin Laden basically, and I personally felt that there were a lot of elements in the movie that they just completely ignored and didn't bother to kind of throw in there as well. But again, this is me talking 8 years since I watched it, so I could be, maybe I'll rewatch it and really like it. I don't know, but I just remember now that we're in the 2 out of 10s, there'll be a lot of controversial ones in here, I reckon.
I'm just looking at your like 1.5 stars now, and don't ask me why I remember this, but I do remember Time Heist Review. Do you guys remember the movie Now You See Me, where you all liked it, and I left the cinema feeling like my intelligence had just been insulted. I don't know why, but I remember that line in my head from that review.
Did anyone else see that film Now You See Me in 2013? Yeah, you all loved it, I know. Whereas I came out feeling like my intelligence had been somewhat insulted.
I promise you, it's been like 8 years since I watched that review. or whenever it came
Yeah.
out. But yeah, I just remember that in my head. So yeah, I can kind of understand why that. What? 1.5 stars for Spider-Man 2002? God damn.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably the hottest
And
take of the
Spider-Man
entire
3.
video. What about Spider-Man 2?
I think I got that as 6.
Oh, alright. Well, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Atonement,
Those
stars, yeah.
movies have just not aged well at all, I don't think, and it's just because they were a product of their time, and I really enjoyed them when I was a kid, probably because they just, it's not exactly like there's a whole library worth of superhero movies then that people genuinely took seriously, but the Spider-Man movies kind of took that concept of taking them a little bit more seriously, but still having enough kind of flirting with fun to make them appreciate, or just to make them worthwhile. Like, I think if anyone gave me like the choice, I would just pick number 2 every time, because it
Yeah.
is a solid movie. It's enjoyable. It's flawed as heck, just like the other two, but it definitely doesn't feel as kind of outdated as the other two.
That's fair. Well, I'm looking through. There's some controversial stuff in these ratings.
Oh, no.
2.5 stars for Pianist. I was surprised
Yeah,
by
that's a
one.
movie I'm rewatching soon, because I genuinely can't remember anything about that movie, and apparently I thought it was okay. So
Yeah, because I remember really loving it. So, then there's a couple here that are Doctor Who episodes, like The Magician's
yeah, well,
Apprentice.
you can't have TV shows on here, but they've got episodes
Yeah,
on here. Like,
it's so
what?
weird. I can kind of understand for the Sherlock ones where they've split each of the seasons into their three
But that's
movies.
it. That's all I can think of.
But yeah, it's weird. And Chernobyl's on here. It's a weird thing. Um,
Oh yeah.
it's just yeah, it's a weird website. I feel like some of it they need to iron out some of the stuff here and there. I'm glad to see you don't hate Man of Steel. It got 3 stars. So I'm
Again, another movie that I don't remember particularly well, but it's the main issue I had with it was the special effects kind of make it look. I remember just this one sequence, and it could be the wrong movie, but I don't think there's another Spider-Man. I don't think there's another Superman movie that has this sequence, and he's basically just floating in the middle of the air, and a camera is doing a full 360 around him, but he's kind of in the center of the frame the entire time, and there are like these gigantic like metal arms that were kind of coming up and attacking him, and I just couldn't focus on anything that was going on. It felt so like a lot of it felt it was probably towards the end that it kind of lost its footing, because it just became violent nonsense.
fair enough. See, I'm a massive Superman fan, but I'm not going to say all the films are flawless because Superman Returns is a snooze fest. I've never liked that movie. Superman 4 is abysmal. Superman 3 is pretty bad, and the first two Supermans are classics for Christopher Reeve. Like the
See,
old
I do
Superman.
like. Well, actually, I don't even think I really have that much appreciation for the classics, because they, like the Spider-Man movies, have just aged really badly. But the thing that I really liked about, well, no, it's not even really liked. There's a bit in the first Superman movie where he rewinds time by spinning the Earth in the other direction. Like, what a fucking cop out! Like, that is so of that time. And it just irritated me. But it felt like something that a flat Earth believer would come up with. You'll probably find a whole bunch of movies that I've rated in here that are just, you'll have never in your wildest dreams have kind of imagined would be a movie. If I say to you, Symbio-Psychotaxiplasm, that's a movie.
Are you having a stroke, or is that a title?
No, I'm
Never
not.
heard, I've never
It's,
heard of that.
it's an actual movie. So it's not. I don't think it's like really that popular, but again, it's just something that I learned about when I was at uni, and it's this movie that's just. It's like one that is all done in one take. It's just one guy taking a bunch of people to Central Park in Manhattan, and just filming the entire, like, about an hour and a half, I think, or not even that. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. He's making a film, but no one really knows what movie he's making, and he kind of seems like this really weird figure. And even me describing it just sounds really strange, but it's basically just 3 cameras on a bunch of people for an hour and 15 minutes. But the way that it kind of is edited makes a narrative, and it is just really strange. It's not like a movie that I would kind of recommend to anybody that hasn't really delved into indie cinema very much. And I know that is just one that I picked out of a hat out of all the movies that I've watched. But I'd be very interested if anybody at all is like me and has seen Symbiotaxiplasm. Symbio Psychotaxiplasm.
If anyone's seen that film, comment below, give your opinion of it. I've literally never heard of it at all, so it's
neither did I before then.
Very weird title.
And there's a sequel to it as well that was made by Steve Buscemi in the 2000s, because the first one was made in the 60s as like an experiment, but then Steve Buscemi like tried to redo it in the noughties, I think.
Okay, well, I'm probably never gonna watch it, or like.
Yeah, you're not missing much, to be honest. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Is there any film that you would give a 0? Because you've given a TV episode, Orphan 55, a 0 out of 10.
I give Orphan 55 a 0 out of 10.
Is there any film that gathers a 0?
Saving Christmas.
Oh, I think I remember you watching. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did. I watched it with Chloe. It was the most fun video I think I've ever made.
It's like some weird Christian movie or something.
Yeah. It's amazing how some people will just try to take Christian meaning out of every single aspect of Christmas. Literally, you could summarize the whole movie as 2 grown adults sitting in a car complaining that the Christmas tree doesn't represent the baby Jesus.
Well, it sounds like a masterpiece.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Talking.
Yeah, that's a 0 out of 10. I would give it.
I've seen a lot of garbage movies in my time. If you go to like my half stars, there's probably, or like 1 star, something like that. There's probably quite a few films there that I've rated at that point, just because of like, just they're that bad. The Netflix original films are that bad. People go on about how bad they are, but they kind of just earn that. Oh, actually, not a Netflix original film, but could be the worst film I've ever seen. The Outcasts 2017 is so bad. So after falling victim to a humiliating prank by the high school queen bee, best friends and world-class geeks, Mindy and Jody decide to get their revenge by uniting the outcasts of the school against her and her circle of friends. So they basically get all the nerds to go up against the popular kids. That's like the premise of the whole movie. And not even the movie itself, but the references the movie makes. You can't even go up probably 10 seconds without them making some stupid reference to like Star Wars or Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, and it's just so painful to watch. Then the reason I watched it was to get my like 100 film challenge done for last year. I was trying to watch 100 movies I'd never seen before, and for some reason that popped up as a recommendation. Ooh. And I was like, ugh.
That sounds like quite a good challenge. I don't know if I'd do that anyway.
Yeah, my brother's currently doing 365. So
a movie a day.
Yeah, a movie a day is what he's doing. He's up to like.
God, he must have lots of free time.
Well, you see, no, he's like 6 movies behind. So I'm just like, you're not going to be able to complete it.
Set yourself an impossible goal, man.
Yeah, it's too much. Well, if he does it, he's going to do it on this channel where he ranks all 365 of them.
Wow, that's some peak content right there.
Or like, we'll rank 365 through to, and then we'll just go. Maybe it'll be a video series or something. But
Well, I've been thinking of doing like a podcast literally called the Top 250 Podcast, where each episode I would have somebody on to talk about one of the movies from the top 250 IMDb list. So like I'd start with Shawshank, then Godfather, Godfather 2.
Damn, I love Shawshank, man. That is such a good movie. I don't know if it's quite the best movie of all time, but it's definitely up there for me as like one.
It feels like it. Every time I watch it, I think, oh my God, this is just absolutely perfect.
Like, you get why it's so heavily rated, why it's so loved by everyone. I don't think I've ever heard anyone dislike it yet, ever. So, I've never seen The Godfather, so that's the second one. Dark Knight I've seen.
You should really, set yourself up for like 3 hours of free time if you've got it to watch it, because if you don't, like, I don't know if I'm just being really elitist about this, but if you don't watch The Godfather in one long continuous sitting, you won't get the appeal. Like, it's something that was made for the cinema to be, uninterrupted and played from start to finish, in my opinion, because it's just a thing of its own.
Yeah, it's fair.
And I think you could probably afford to have a break in the middle of it if there's an intermission, because I know that they used to do that with a lot of movies back in the day. I wish they did that more nowadays, but they've just kind of condensed every movie to be at least an hour and a half to 2 hours now. And unless you're watching Satan Tango, 8 hours or whatever,
7
how
hours
long
and
it
30
is.
minutes. And It Chapter 2 was quite long. I haven't actually watched it, but
I'm listening to the audiobook of it at the moment, and I'm really loving it.
you're loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's so long, though. It's a really long book. It's like Game of Thrones length.
Yeah, the longest book I've ever read is by Stephen King, 11/22/63. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yes, that's on my watch list, or sorry, listen list, if you like, on Audible.
It's incredible. It's about 800
I'm looking forward
pages,
to it.
something long. But I got through it in about a month because it was so good. It's about a high school teacher being sent back in time to try and prevent the assassination of JFK. And then the kind of aftermath of that whole thing, like how would that change the timeline? What would the world look like if he wasn't assassinated? So
that sounds like a really interesting concept. Oh, now I understand the title as well. That makes sense.
11/22/63. Although it's stupid American dates with the month and then day and then year, which I've never quite got.
Well, it'll be really interesting when I've finished it to the audiobook to watch the film and see how far it gets, because as far as I'm concerned, it's really setting itself up as this really grand narrative that I just would not have expected for, a book about a clown. On the surface, it really doesn't seem like anything much, but when you start getting into it, it just, some of the bits, and the reader, I don't know what the name of the person who's reading the audiobook, but he just absolutely sends shivers down my spine in every single segment. And because they're so long, I feel like the kind of unpredictability of a novel in general, but it's not because I know that I have this awful problem when I'm reading a book. I'll flick over the page and I'll see that it's the end of the chapter, and then I'll accidentally read a sentence that kind of finishes the chapter off, and I'm like, oh, damn. But when you're listening to an audiobook, and this guy, the way he reads it, he takes his real time, listening to it, reading it and making it just absolutely terrifying. Would highly recommend getting an Audible subscription just to listen to it. I mean, alongside all the other amazing audiobooks that are on there. Not sponsored, would like to be, but
this
there you
video
go.
is sponsored by Audible. Hang around until the end of the podcast to hear more about Audible and how you can get your subscription down below. Hopefully one day you get sponsored by the BBC. This Doctor Who review is
no,
sponsored by the
I'd never
BBC.
take their money.
Whoa, really?
No, because they need to put their money into better things.
Oh, you DM them back. Make good Doctor Who first, and then I might
Yeah.
endorse How long has it been since you like positively reviewed a Doctor Who episode?
Kablam was the last like released episode, because like I was positive about Utopia, Sound of Drums, and Last of the Time Lords, but that's just because it wasn't on TV at the time. So, but yeah, no, Kablam was the last time I gave an okay rating or higher.
Damn. All right. Well, Benny didn't even earn himself 5 stars.
Maybe I think it Takes You Away got a 5, but again, that's a very mixed episode.
Yeah, that one's very mixed in my opinion.
And now Orphan 55 has just come to reassure me that it was just a load of shit. Because they're written by the same guy.
Oh, Ed Heim, I think his name is. Very weird episode, Doctor
Who. It always comes back to Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, it always does. Everything on the channel, everything in our lives always comes back to Doctor Who. Even though I stopped watching it for 2 years, everything comes back to Doctor Who.
How was your hiatus? Did you enjoy it?
It was. So if anyone didn't know, I stopped watching Doctor Who because I just kind of lost interest. Orphan 55, man. That's what made me start watching it again. When people were saying Benny over and over again, and I found some out of context clip online, and I lost it. I was dying laughing, and I was like, "Is this Doctor Who now?" And then I
think the longest hiatus I've had is 4 months.
What episode made that happen?
Oh, hang on a minute. So, throughout the whole time that I reviewed Doctor Who, it kind of... right, I'm just getting up my uploads so I can tell you when my longest Doctor Who hiatus was. Because I have been reviewing it semi-consistently since 2014.
Yeah.
But there are points where I just didn't bother. So between series 11 and 12, I had 4 months off. But I'm now having a look. So 15th of Jan 2017 was when I did the superhero Doctor Who episode. And then it came back on in April. So that's, that one.
That one sucks.
Then I did a flitting back and forth between Doctor Who and Black Mirror because Black Mirror was just blowing up back then.
Black Mirror is the superior TV show. So, yeah.
Of course. And then Eaters of Light finale. So then there was the Twice Upon a Time episode. And I didn't do... Oh my God. I didn't do... Was this 2018? I thought there was longer ago than that. Okay. I did have a long break. Oh my God. So the biggest break that I had was actually between Twice Upon a Time and your Let's Kill Hitler review. So
man, if anyone,
we are talking.
Does anyone know about the Let's Kill Hitler review? No, I would say drama, but like the backstory behind the Let's Kill Hitler review.
I don't think so, but the closest because I introduced it in an Australian accent, and that was all I wanted to do to kind of hint at, this is it, this is your video, you've got it now.
Well, it took how many, 4 years or something like that, but it was worth it in the end to watch you tear it to shreds. It's probably my list.
So I actually had 9 months off between Twice Upon a Time and Let's Kill Hitler. So that's my biggest hiatus I've had since starting.
I'm sorry for bringing you out of retirement, man. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm just having a look because there was also... before that, or not before that, because then we're talking series 10 and 11, the gap between that. But Let's Kill Hitler was then followed by The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Oh yeah.
So that was when I picked it up again.
So I actually thought that one was pretty decent. That first episode, The Woman Who Fell to Earth, I thought that one was alright.
I think I'm kind of being a bit of a Doctor Who junkie at the moment, and I'm just kind of literally, as soon as series 12 is done, I'm just going to do as much revival stuff as I can so that I don't have to have this huge backlog of content to make.
Yeah. What else are you going to review from the revival though? Because I feel like you've reviewed quite a bit now.
So here we go. Then this will be the first time saying this in the public domain. I had so I will definitely be reviewing Partners in Crime and Planet of the Ood. I'm not going to bother with Fires of Pompeii, even though Peter Capaldi's in it, because it is just filler as heck.
Yeah, it's just kind of average.
Totally forgettable episode. But then we've got the Sontaran episodes, which I think I'm going to make a patron goal, because we reached 50 patrons, which is amazing. So everyone on Patreon will get an exclusive review of Father's Day. That's coming soon. We've got, and then I've set another goal for 100 patrons, so people can, then there'll be another exclusive review of the Rise of the Cybermen Age of Steel episodes. And then I'm going to do it again, so probably 150 patrons will be the Sontaran Stratagem episode and Poison Sky episodes.
I remember liking
I haven't. Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't rewatched them yet. I just rewatched the first 3 episodes and made my judgment there. So I'll be rewatching the Sontaran episodes and the Doctor's Daughter episodes to kind of make sure that whether they're worthy of reviewing or not.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes they're just forgettable.
Yeah, I didn't bother reviewing the Lazarus Experiment, even though I didn't rewatch it, and I knew it wouldn't be worth rewatching, so that was why I skipped over that. And it'll probably be the same as it's bad, is it?
Yes, Lazarus Experiment for me at least is the worst episode of season 3 without like a single doubt. Because you've got bangers in there like Blink and then the Family Blood, and like I like Utopia quite a bit. There's really good stuff in season 3. Smith and Jones, the premiere, is also pretty fun.
Yes, yeah, I really enjoyed Smith and Jones.
Shakespeare Code I like.
Shame that episode's now going to get completely buried beneath the new Jadoon episode that's coming out.
Yeah.
Well, it might be good. Who knows?
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Please, Chris.
I'm hoping too.
This is the first episode in 2 years I'll be watching as the day when it comes out. So,
just to conclude your original question, though, so Unicorn and the Wasp until the very end of the Russell T Davies era, I will be reviewing. Apart from the Christmas specials, which I will probably do an exclusive review at Christmas for. So, like, by the time I'm finished with the Davies era, I can then make a really mega video reviewing all of the Davies Christmas episodes, because some of them are so bad. But yeah, that'll be fun when we get to that.
Well, I don't think there's really anything else to say, really.
I think we've covered a lot.
We've covered quite a bit. We've covered a lot of movies and Doctor Who stuff. Anyway, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us on this first podcast / kind of video visual thing. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in the editing room for this, but mostly podcast. If you'd like to subscribe to this but that, we'll be producing new content soon on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me, Harry's Haunted House. Please subscribe to him below. He's made quite a few episodes of Did It Suck?
Quite a few.
It's just like 100 or something like that now.
I don't even know.
It's just
too many.
Some big number. He loves Chris Chibnall. He would marry him if he saw him in real life, basically.
Absolutely.
So much he loves his kids.
Absolutely.
He loves Chris Chibnall.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for having me on, man. I do like having a chin wag.
Thank you very much. Subscribe below. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
You just finished listening to this But That's Completed podcast interview with Harry's Haunted House. If you've enjoyed this podcast, subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell for future content that will be uploaded. For the future of this channel, there will be a selection of videos covering film and television. There may even be a few more podcasts coming your way in the near future. Thanks for listening. Bye.